Hey everyone, welcome back to Code of the Row. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to import an anime character specifically from Vroid Studios, but I think this can work with any .vrm files. This is simply just from a free software called Vroid Studios, and the shading actually looks really nice. This kind of looks like really high quality and just ready for game use. I've been kind of studying on how to get some cell shaded stuff like Genshin Impact or Project Mugen or Ananta now into Unreal Engine, and it is really hard to achieve, but Vroid Studios makes it so much easier. So let's go ahead and get started. So head over to vroidstudio.com and go ahead and just download it. You can also download it on Steam if you don't want to download it directly through Windows. So we're just going to go ahead and download that. And now as soon as it launches, it just gives me a ton of already pre-made options. So I'm just going to go ahead and select Avatar Sample B. Maybe I'll make a couple edits and then export it. So I'll click on it and it already comes with this base template model and it looks like it's already shaded and all that. And it does look pretty nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the export by clicking on the share looking button. And then I'll just export it as a VRM. And now go ahead and check out the description for the link to this plugin is called VRM for you. This makes it really easy to port characters into Unreal Engine 4 and 5. And when you're on this page, it is going to be in Japanese. You can go ahead and check out the English doc. But before that, I want to scroll down to where it says releases and go ahead and click on releases. And then I also want to download the version that I'm going to be using. So in this case, it's going to be Unreal Engine 5.5 is the latest. So I'll just go ahead and click on this to download it. So now I've gone ahead and opened up a blank third person project. And I'm just going to go ahead and extract this I'm just going to go ahead and extract the VRM for you 5.5 file that we just downloaded. So I'll just go ahead and extract this plugin. And once that's done, I'm just going to head over to this content folder, right click and show and explore. Of course, you can also just go ahead and open the file from your Epic launcher. And I'm going to go up to the project file. And all I need to do from here is I can just go ahead and copy paste this plugins folder. I'm going to be using this for multiple projects. So I'm just going to copy this plugins folder directly into Unreal projects slash my project name, which is Anim Test. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in. If you already have a plugins folder, just go inside and copy this VRM for you folder and put it inside your plugins folder. And now I need to restart my project. If you don't put in the plugins folder first, then importing the VRM model will crash your Unreal Engine project. All right, now with my project restarted, I'm going to go over to File and Plugins and just double check if the VRM for you is already enabled, and it is. So I'll go ahead and close this folder or this tab. I'll go ahead and close that tab. I'll go ahead and close that tab. So now I can just simply import that VRM character. So I'm just going to right click, create a new folder, call this anime character, get into the folder. And from where I exported that to avatar sample underscore B, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this in and I'll just go ahead and click import. And I'm going to go ahead and save everything. And you can see it comes with a ton of textures, already predefined materials for each slot. There's an animation blueprint for this character, as well as IK retargeters, um, and some face animations or something. Yeah, so you can see the character just blinking and doing mouth movement just to show how these work, which is pretty cool. So that already comes set up for you. So now I'm just going to go ahead and drag this character in actually. So here's my skeletal mesh. And you'll see that it already looks really good. This Vroid Studio or plugin already just did most of the work. And yeah, freaking amazing. Absolutely love this. So honestly, my workflow would just be to create the characters in Vroid Studio and then import it over. And then any lighting adjustments would be in Unreal Engine. So now let's actually make this into a working character. I'm just going to go ahead and go to characters because this is a blank third person project. Go to mannequins, animations, and I will choose Manny for this one. Actually, I can just go back and right click on the ABP Manny, and then I'm just going to retarget animations. Now over here, this is pretty important. You want to make sure auto generate retargeter is unchecked. And for the target skeletal mesh, I'm going to choose that avatar sample B character. This might be a little different. It might be A for you. And then for the retarget asset, I'm going to choose the retargeter that comes with that VRM for you plugin. You can see it already aligns them as an A pose, and we can go ahead and just check how these look together. So for example, when I go down to the MF, the idle matches perfectly fine. Same with the run forward. the walk forward, the idle, fall loop, jump, so on. They all look pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and select these two blend spaces, select all these animations from all the MFs and MMs, like so. And I'll go ahead and just click export animations from here. And I'll just create a new folder under my anime character folder and call this animations and click export. And I'll just go ahead and hit export again. And now you'll see all the animations are right here. And now in this folder, I'm just going to right click and create a new animation blueprint, which is going to target that skeleton like so. And I'll just call this AVP underscore anime and double click to open this up. And all I want to do is just head over to where my third person stuff is. So for that, I'm simply just going to go to my characters folder again, mannequins, animations, and open up the AVP Manning. From here, I just want to copy everything in the event graph onto the event graph over here. So I'll just go ahead and paste that in, hit compile, and then we're going to create some variables. So I'll go ahead and create this variable, create velocity. Anything that has an arrow, just right click under it and hit create a variable. Should move is also a variable, is falling is a variable. Go ahead and compile. And now it is all working. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the anim graph now. And same with the AVP Manny. I'll just go ahead and copy these as well onto the anime character or the AVP anime. And now I'll hit compile, and we're going to get some issues if we don't change the stuff within the state machine. So first I'm going to go to the locomotion and the idle, and I'm going to change this from idle to the idle we have over here. In this case, I'll probably use the FF idle. So you'll see that the idle is actually just this one for the mannequin, and I don't want that. I want the anime one. So I'll go ahead and drag the MF idle into the result over here. And you want to make sure that loop animation is checked. So now when I go ahead and hit compile, now the character is in the correct idle animation. I'll go back to the locomotion, and then for the walk and run, I'm going to change it over to the blend space we retargeted. So I'll do the BS MM walk run, connect ground speed up here, like so. And just like that, hit compile. Boom. I want to double click on this BS MM walk run just to double check. So yeah, it did retarget correctly. So I'm pretty glad about that. And this looks good to me. I'll exit out of that, go back to my AVP anime. And now I want to go up to locomotion and then again up to anim graph. And now instead of clicking locomotion, I want to go ahead and double click main states. And we have to go ahead and do the same thing in each of these. So inside locomotion, it's totally fine. Don't need to change anything here. And then for the land animation, I want to go ahead and change this to or just look for land and connect it to the additive up here. Now there are issues with this land after I click on it. I can see that when I double click on this, this does not retarget properly. And this is the only one that didn't retarget properly. So I might have to skip over this for now. So I'll actually just unplug this because that's going to give really weird animations. Actually, I'll leave it plugged just so we can test this out later. And now I'll go back up to the main state and go to the let's do jump animation. And now I will look for the jump in the search browser and connect it to the result. And let's just double check the animation, and it is working correctly. So this looks good. And then go to the fall loop. So I just want to look for fall, connect this like so, and the animation is perfectly fine here as well. Align this up, and then go back to the locomotion, go up to the anim graph, and everything here actually looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit compile and save. And now let's go ahead and try this out. So what I'm going to do is head back to the third person map, and I want to go to my world settings. And then for the default pawn class, it's going to show the BB third person character. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this folder with magnifying glasses to be directly redirected to it on my project folders. And then I'll double click to open this up. And I'm simply just going to change the mesh to that anime, AVP anime, and then change the skeletal mesh to the avatar sample B. And now when I go ahead and hit compile, you're going to see that this character is now in its idle pose. You can go ahead and change the capsule sizing and stuff if you want. For example, if you want the radius to be a bit smaller to match your character, you can go ahead and do that. So I'll compile and save. And now when I actually hit play, you're going to see that the character is working just fine. I can run around, I can jump. And now when I land, you're going to see that really weird error that we were seeing before. So when I land, you're going to see that it is not properly. It just kind of spazzes out, floats into the air, and then comes back down just fine. So in this case, I'm simply just going to disable it by going to my ABP anime, going into the main states, and then double click land. And from here for the land, I'm just going to go ahead and just unplug this and undo this because I'm probably gonna have to retarget or find a new animation to make it work. And just like that, it looks totally fine to me and it is working. You're gonna see it already comes with its jiggle physics, which I did not notice earlier. And yeah, that's pretty much how you get your anime character from Vroid Studio over to Unreal Engine. And you're gonna see it's a bit floating off the ground, and that's just because the capsule height doesn't match. So in order to fix that, just head over to your third person character. And I just want to move my character so that it aligns with this capsule. So I'm probably going to decrease the capsule to like 85. I think this is good. What you want is the bottom of the shoes to match the very bottom of this capsule. So for example, if I left it here and then hit compile and save, you're going to see that it's a little bit into the ground because 85 was a little bit too short. So I actually want to be a little bit nitpickier and change this from 85 to maybe 86. Actually, 87 looks good. And now it looks like my shoes are right on the ground, just like that. And that looks pretty good to me. And that's pretty much how you get your anime character into Unreal Engine 5. Thanks for watching Code of the Row. In the next video about anime stuff, I will go over proper lighting to make your anime characters stick out a lot more and make it look a bit more flatter and cleaner. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.